Hey guys, John here, and today I bring to you the Toughbuilt Stacktech. This is a pretty epic system. I'd say this is one of the freshest toolbox systems and the most exciting, innovative box that's come to the market in quite a long time. So I had to fly all the way to the US, and I was able to pick it up off the shelf from Lowe's. All of the different boxes I've got here came from the Lowe's store, so sadly they have a lot more choice in the US and much bigger stores. However, we are seeing little sniffs of it in Europe, so hopefully we do get this in the UK very soon. But I went all the way to the States and shipped this thing back to me, including the drawers and some of the quirkier boxes, not just the triple stack system. And I went all that way and I went to all that trouble because it is quite interesting. There's lots of different features that I've not seen before on other toolbox systems. The main one that this is kind of known for is the latching system. It's a really cool click and release, but there's a lot more to talk about. And in this video, I'm going to be going through my top 5 features, positives, great things about the Toughbuilt, including a couple of niggles. And believe it or not, there are a couple of things they need to work on with the Toughbuilt system. So let me get all this off the table and on the floor, and I'll get into the good stuff, starting with number 5. So one of the first features I really like about the Stacktech system is around the back. So this is the rolling box here with your traditional handle for rolling it around. Now traditionally these are fixed in place and they go down to the base, but when you take boxes off, the handle protrudes, so if you're kind of stacking it in your van or mainly in a pickup, this thing wouldn't fit. Not so with the Toughbuilt system, because you can undo those 2 little clips there, and then the handle comes off, and you can see that is then flush with the top. So that will go under your kind of like rock and roll cover in a pickup, and it's a simple mechanism. Handle comes out nice and easy, goes back in nice and easy. You put the 2 latches in and it's fixed and ready to go. Another thing while I'm down here is the wheels are really smart. They're much wider than normal wheels, and something like a pack out has got like a plastic wheel. You can upgrade them to rubber, but this one comes with rubber wheels, and the DeWalt Tough system has got rubber wheels, but they're much narrower. So obviously with a wider wheel, you can kind of navigate rougher terrain. So definitely 2 great features to start with. Let me show you number 4. So the next thing I really like is this center latch. Most of these systems have kind of a latch left and right, so it's either a 2-handed operation or it's 1 hand and 2 actions. With the Toughbuilt, it's just 1 large latch on the front, and when it closes, it's a really positive lock. It pulls the whole thing down. You know, you might assume if it was 1 flimsy lock in the middle, it's not going to hold it tightly, but because this is so wide, you really can feel it pull down and engage that seal. And on that note, when you drop it, that's quite satisfying. It reminds me of that advert. You know it's a Golf.
And if you listen carefully, it sounds just like a Golf.
That's a Golf, if you ask me. It's got a really nice sound when it clicks down. I also really like, it's got a locking point on the left and the right hand side. Most of these boxes have a locking point in the middle, and then if you do have a padlock on there, well basically what it's done in the past for me is it's put a big metal protrusion out the front which has scratched my other boxes. Having them left and right, the way I stack these in the back of a car or in a van, they go long ways but side on, so they don't scratch each other up. And also having a lock left and right, you can get keyed alike locks, so you can have 2 locks, same key, and it's a better, more secure fit if you ask me. Especially as these boxes are so sturdy. The wallings on them are really thick. It's a big, heavy-duty box. It's like a twin layer. And while we're around here, also, the handle is a proper stout thing. You look at this. Much wider than your normal handle. So when you've got a grip on it, you're not getting kind of pinched either side of your hand. So it's a sturdy handle, sturdy locks, sturdy latching mechanism. And that's my 4th favourite feature. Let me show you number 3. So, 3rd on the list is Toughbuilt's accessories and the accessory rail on the side. So first and foremost, this steel corner edging does make it a lot more durable. It makes it a really solid system. If it lands or you drop it, typically these things land on the corners, don't they? So having that is a bonus, but also the accessories latch into this system and they're really solid and toolless. So this is just the cup, and you can see it's really on there, and there's just 1 button on the bottom to release it. So that is really nifty. And then the cup goes in there and twists, and all the accessories work in the exact same fashion. Some of them work and clip left and right, so they'll have 2 locking points. It's a really simple system. You don't need an Allen key to attach anything, and it's adding strength. And the other thing is, it's not kind of protruding out of the side of the box. So really nifty, seamless system with loads of accessories. I've only got a few here, but there's pages of accessories available. So that is my 3rd feature I really like. Let me show you number 2. So in the number 2 spot of the features I really like about the Toughbuilt Stacktech is probably the most iconic or recognizable one. If you've seen anything about the Stacktechs online, the connecting latching system is what really makes it stand out. Let me show you. So this box here has a little indicator on the front that's either in lock or unlock mode. These are self-aligning, so you just drop it on the top and it clicks into place. Doesn't really matter if you're slightly off center, it's kind of got like an angle on the bottom of the box, so it finds its natural center and it clicks into place. And the latch here only moves over to the lock position if it's properly connected. So you can have confidence quickly and simply knowing all your boxes are connected. You're not going to tip it back and then one box just fall off the top, which has happened to me a few times with some of these systems. You go to kind of roll it off and one of the boxes hasn't connected and the whole thing goes over. So great innovative latching mechanism, and it's really easy to release the boxes too. You just push the latch over to the unlock mode and then literally it just lifts off. There's no kind of like pulling and dragging and wobbling the boxes around. They just unclip and clip really simply, and that is why it's in the number 2 spot. Let me show you number 1. So in the number 1 spot is the range of Toughbuilt boxes, because they are a new kid on the block really when it comes to toolbox organising and toolbox systems, but they already have all of the most common boxes covered. So they've got the standard triple, which is like the medium box, the standard width toolbox, the rolling box with the removable handle. You've also got the 3 drawer here, which is great, and I love a drawer system. You've also got a single deep drawer, which is great, that clips on the box. We don't have that one sadly. They've got the organisers, clear lid organisers, they've got narrow organisers, they've got the half width compact box, they've got the totes, they've also got a huge range of accessories, and that's not to mention all of the clip tech accessories that can kind of attach to the side and make it easier to carry those awkward tools that won't actually fit inside the toolbox. But it's not all sunshine and roses with this system. I've not had it long, but I've already found a couple of little niggles, a couple of little negatives. So let me talk you through a few of the issues I found with it.
Must you be so negative?
So first little niggle is there's no lock on the drawers. Now there's locks on the standard toolbox, the rolling box, the organisers. They have locking points left and right, so they're really secure, which almost highlights the drawer box as a problem really, because if you were to take this system on site, you'd have all your other boxes locked up, but then your drawers, which is where I put all the hand tools in foam and have a lot of value in the drawers, and there's no way to lock them. Now I don't know if they're going to be bringing out a solution for that. I mean, obviously you've got the attachment points left and right, so there is potential you could do something, or Toughbuilt might bring something out to kind of put a bar across. The Milwaukee's got a bar that folds up and locks all of the drawers. Obviously they found a solution for the problem, and I would imagine Toughbuilt are going to come up with something, but as of yet I've not seen anything, so that is the first niggle. Another little problem I found is sometimes when you've got a full stack like this, there's something in one of these middle boxes that you just need to nip in there and grab that item, and typically most of these toolbox systems you can open the box and you can tip the whole stack back, but you can't with the Toughbuilt system. It's basically locked in place. That latch won't lift off, so that box is inaccessible. The only way to access it is you'd have to unlock this box, tip that whole box backwards, then you can unlock it, then you can tip it forwards again, lock it in place, then you can open this box and you can reach in and you can grab, oh, you know, I just needed this box here with some fixings in it. Then you can put it down again, but then look, you can't lock it again. So then you have to go through the little bit of a faff again to unlock that one, lock it up again, and then clip it in place. Now most systems, that's not a problem. You can unlatch it, open it, doesn't matter how tall your stack is, as long as you've got the strength to hold the rest of the box, you can access any of your mid boxes without any difficulty. So the Milwaukee Packout, for instance, you can unlatch a box, no problem, even when they're all stacked up. You can see I've got a load of boxes here, and then the whole thing will tip back. Like I say, there is a bit of a risk to doing this because you've got the weight of the top section, but sometimes it might be that you're just looking at the second box down. You know, if I'm trying to access even the second box down, it's a faff to have to remove the one above it just to access it. And obviously with this one, with the Milwaukee stack, you don't have to do that, and then you can lock it up again. And as you can see here, we've got the locking mechanism for the drawers. Milwaukee never found a way of locking the drawers individually, so they came up with a bar that pulls out, locks all 3 at once, and you just put a padlock around there. So not a huge problem, but it is a little bit of a niggle, and to be fair, if you found a workaround for that, it would be a lot better. So another little negative, I'll illustrate with this pack out again. So we've got 2 half stacks here, and they just push on, click to the back. And now even if you've got the tall compacts, it works the same way. If you've got 2 of those, you can still put a full-size box on top. It clips into place, and you can have 2 halves, full, whatever you want to do. And the system is designed in a way that it doesn't matter. As long as they're the right height, it doesn't matter what configuration you set them up in. When you look at the Toughbuilt though, with this kind of like angled, self-aligning little platform, this box will slot on as a half stack. You can have another half stack next to it, then you wouldn't be able to put a full width stack on top. So it does limit you a little bit with, depending what your configuration is at the moment, let's say you're looking to switch over from Packout over to Toughbuilt. If you use half stacks with full stacks on top, you wouldn't be able to do it with the Toughbuilt at the moment. And even if they release an adapter plate, it's not ideal, it's another thing to buy, isn't it?
I am never going to financially recover from this.
But all niggles aside, let's talk about the price and availability in the UK, because that's what we all want to know. Well, this is one of the systems you can get your hands on now in the EU and the UK, just about. It's just starting to creep through. Tool Monster, a website based out of Northern Ireland, have got the Toughbuilt Stacktech. I'll talk you through the prices. So the 3-piece stack, they've got RRP 350 quid. They've got it on a bit of a deal at the moment. It's £314. Quite expensive, but you're getting a lot of extra usability and features, and it's a bit of a showstopper, isn't it, the Toughbuilt? So if you look at a normal traditional 3-stack toolbox, it's 150, 200. This is, you know, a good chunk more expensive than that. But if you're buying it for a lifetime, you're investing in it, maybe it's worth that. You know, 314 quid. Toolboxes nowadays are getting heftier and heftier in price, so definitely competes with the likes of Milwaukee Packout. The rolling box on its own, 180. Top box, 95. Mid box, 107. Then you've got the half narrow organizer that we've got here. That's $35.99. So even that's quite expensive, really, isn't it? The 3 drawers, this is one of my favorite boxes, the 3 drawers. That's also 180. There's some slight reductions on that, and currently they're out of stock, but that's kind of the nature with these things. There are a couple of companies that are bringing them through, just starting to bring them through. In the US, they're a lot more readily available. And as you would expect, we make shadow foam inserts for all of these boxes. Every single box you see here, and the shadow foam inserts that go in these boxes are slightly different because we have to have a 30mm and a 50 in Toughbuilt. The way their boxes are, there's like a step in the bottom. So we have the 30mm that sits in the bottom, and that makes it a nice flat surface. And then the 50mm sits on the top, and you end up with a lot more real estate. You can fit a lot of tools in there. And we have twin packs in all the different shapes and sizes in all 9 colours. So if you're thinking about getting your Toughbuilts fully decked out, if you're going to spend the money on a Toughbuilt system, you don't want to be just using them as empty buckets. You want to be getting all your gear nice and organised, and you can do that really quick and easy with shadow foam inserts. So don't miss out. Head over to shadowfoam.com, get your boxes organised. And if you've enjoyed this Toughbuilt video, maybe you've got some burning questions or you'd like to know more, go and check out this video. I know you're going to love it. Basically, Toughbuilt answered all of the most asked questions, some of the burning questions from people, stuff like, when's it coming to Europe, which is, you know, a big question for us. What about distribution? What about development? How come some of the boxes that have been rumoured take so long to come out? All those questions are covered in this video, and they're Toughbuilt's answers, not my answers. They're Toughbuilt's answers. Go and watch that. I know you're going to enjoy it. Drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon, because the latest toolbox news, anything exciting in this industry about toolboxes and tools, is going to be on this channel first. So make sure you subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.